a lot of times people around us tend to misinterpret or misunderstand us, making us feel like it's us versus the rest of the world. In most cases, whenever our saying and doing is not pleasing, we're termed as being the enemy. Why do people misinterpret us whenever we're being firm, disciplined, or doing the right thing in your own mind? Can we please everybody? It was at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Yes, Togo wants to jump in.
So, while I was head of makeup and wardrobe in TVC and I was reporting to Mariah, so Mariah was really nice like that, the kind of person that wants to give you query and she'll call you to let you know, I'm going to send you a query. And it's because I've warned you about this thing one or twice before verbally and you've not done it and I need to give you that query. Then she didn't have to do that. She just started to do it. And she didn't do it all the time, but most of the time she did. However, did I do the right thing and I got queried? No. There was a sin and there was a repercussion. Someone else in that same situation, even when someone was hearing about what happened and I mentioned that, oh, I got queried over the situation, like, but Mariah is your friend. Why would she send you a query? Why did she just explain to you? I said, she should not do her job, which is where being the enemy comes in. So if I didn't have that strength of character to understand that I have done wrong and I deserve to be disciplined for it, someone will put in my mind to start thinking that my discipline, the disciplinary action that I earned for my wrongdoing is actually going to make me start saying her as if, oh,
because she doesn't like you. Add a story to that your story. My uncle was the executive director of a bank. He had grown through the ranks. You know how they do higher secondary school in those days, and you enter a bank without a degree. And every family member that I know went to that bank to work. But my uncle would say to them, go and sit for the exam. And the next thing you will hear, Mariah, is, uncle, you go safe. Must you is your uncle now, must you write the exam? And I'm like, how can he help you if you don't even write the exam? Nepotism.
Right, right.
Yes, first of all, you cannot please everybody because you're not jollof rice.
you plan that intro.
Even these days, some people still request for stew on top of their jollof rice. Now, when you're working in an organization, the best thing for you to do is to do the right thing. Now, whether you do the right thing or not, the mere fact that you're alive and you're breathing, somebody will hate you. You don't necessarily have to do something wrong for that person to hate you. But what I tell people is, do the right thing at the right time. Then leave the haters. If God wants to bless you, he needs people that will sit around the table to see you being blessed. Or just do the right thing. First of all. Forget about enemies, you must have enemies.
You see, I think thank you for saying that, because I think it was somebody who taught me that. I think it was Joy Isabel that in the beginning when your view started, when she was leaving, I think we had a conversation. And she said, Mariah, listen, it's okay to be the bad person. It's okay to be the bad guy. Stop feeling bad about being the bad person. There's nothing wrong. You can actually, yes, somebody goofs, you mess up. Even you can even goof. It's okay. Accept, embrace your mistakes. Well, Mariah, and when it happens, let it go.
People that blame someone or fixate their eyes on another person, that she's a bad person, she's the evil person. When they look deep, they miss out on the lessons. Because for every situation that makes one person look like the bad person, if you look at yourself, you might have done something wrong. So when somebody says that, you were talking too much on the show, and which happens, you did not read the papers, I might feel that, somebody is, why are they focusing on Tokwe too much? But Tokwe, did you read the papers? No. So I think a lot of times when we keep on thinking one person is bad, you are missing the point of how can I improve myself? What am I doing wrong? How can I better? It even plays out in marriage. So we say, oh, you're dealing with your in-law or something, and somebody will come and say that your in-law is a bad person, but you woke up in the morning, you didn't greet your in-law.
Must I greet them?
It is basic expected courtesy of what is it. And you didn't greet that in-law and you expect that she will be smiling at you. So if her reaction now comes a bit aggressive when she says, you did not greet. You say, my mother-in-law is so aggressive. Did you do the basic thing? If you look in, there's something you could have done.
Okay, I didn't want to mention the story, but I know I won't mention the story. I won't mention the story, but going by the story I shared with you this morning, I had a situation also with my MIL yesterday, and in that situation, it could have turned the other way, such that it's like, oh, this person is wicked, that person is not wicked, but because of wisdom,
Manage
You want to understand that, listen, we're all learning from
Yes,
this
it's
situation.
that learning
Let me
part.
come to
I
Nima.
have learned in life. I found myself as the enemy, not to one person, but to a very important group of people that I felt I wanted to be among. And what led to it is my nature of being persistent on what I think is right for me, putting myself first where it's important for me. I'd love to listen to people, yes, but when it comes to the consequences of the action you're advising me, and I'm the one who will take responsibility for the consequences, I don't want you to decide for me when I know I'm the singular person that will carry the consequences. Do you understand? If we were taking a decision as a group, do you understand? And at the end of the day, whatever happens, we bear it as a group. I understand that you'll be there for me. I would understand, but when twice that has happened, and I insist on what is right, what I think is right, because I'm the one that will carry the consequences. I don't want to be seen as a bad person. What is difficult is, when they now group you out. Another one that is very annoying is when you don't know me. You don't want to know me. You just listen to what a group of people tells you and call me the enemy. Do you understand? Judgment. I have been in such a situation where I've been advised that don't talk to this woman. This one, she's very, very bold. She's very rude. And the way I deal with those people is that I will get close to that person and see the person for who they are. If truly they fit your description of them, maybe then I'll stay away. But most times, those things have been proven wrong.
Right.
Because when I try to get close to that enemy, I find out the person is just who she is. She's just a strong woman trying to do things right. And she shouldn't be judged for that.
Right,
you know that every woman is a witch, especially if her husband dies. And every strong, opinionated woman is the enemy in most of their family members. But you ladies know that I will take this issue political. Because I find that I'm the political enemy because of people who don't want you to say what you believe in. They don't want you to criticize the politicians that are feeding them, regardless of what they're doing. It's their time to share the national cake. Why is it at their own time that Jumoke wants to be criticizing them? A lady said to me that, why Jumoke always happy about how much the senators are earning? If she was a senator, would she be complaining about the senators' pay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If I was earning 29 million, do you think I'll be complaining about anything at all? No, I won't. But the honest truth be said, except I change from being who I am, by the time I collect that my 29 million, I will pay school fees here. I will pay hospital bill here because I cannot be looking at Nigerians in my street suffering. So at the end of the day, is it not better for you to pay me a senator 500,000 and take care of the basic infrastructure that will make sure that every Nigerian is not wallowing in hunger and lack medical care? So when I criticize politicians, it's so that all of us hold them by what they've sworn to. Good governance.
Simple. Want to come in here?
Yes. The thing about life is people don't like the truth. If you are blunt or if you speak the truth at all times, you will definitely have more enemies than someone who tries to please everybody.
Very true.
Growing up, I had that issue because if you want to know the truth, ask me. I won't look at you.
You're not nice.
And I'm not nice when it comes to that. I'm that blunt. And thank God I got married into a family that they are blunt as well. So we blunt it out together. You blunt me, I blunt you back. That is it. But I worked in an organization for 5 years, and I noticed that I became the enemy to so many ladies because I was always saying it the way it was. I didn't know how to hide here, talk here, hide here, talk here, and all of that. And it became and it became a problem. Like, must you say it? Can't you just pretend? Can't you just ignore?
Well,
Can't you just...
let me come because we're going to take a break now. We've all expressed our own experiences on this, but in a situation whereby it's misconstrued as envy. The reason why you're doing is because you envy me. You like to be like me, and that whole thing just makes a mess of it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take some tweets on this, but we need to really bring this because the women thing. This is like a really women conversation. We do this to ourselves, where we just hate each other, and we need to address it so that we can stop hating each other and love each other. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So today we're actually having a conversation with ourselves, women. Issues of hating each other, beefing, envy, becoming the enemy, just say, I don't like her, she's just like that. Those kind of things, we're trying to address that. So let me let Jumoke come in.
I'll let Tokwe define it, because me, I don't have women issues at all. I discovered from primary school that I do not have the strong emotions for women issues. It's easier to criticize politicians than to deal with women.
What is envy? Non-acceptance of good in others. If we accept that good in them, it becomes an inspiration. So when somebody is because why does this feeling of this person is evil, where does it come from? When you get criticized, you now begin to think this person is criticizing me because they hate me or they envy me.
They don't like me.
But when you focus on the good in them, you will be inspired by how honest they are, and then you will get that inspiration and help you go above being envious.
So let me take this call from Divine. Divine, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Yes, I want to say that you being seen as an enemy is just a way for you to correct your steps. And it's obvious that you cannot please everybody.
You are not jollof rice.
And as long as you are doing the right thing, you will bound to have an enemy. But the most important is your conscience. As long as you are not going against what is right, people will definitely be against you. But when you are doing the right thing, in fact, I believe as a person that I don't want everybody to like me.
God bless you.
Don't you be worried.
Too much trouble, sir.
Am I doing the right thing? My conscience is the first thing I will judge. Because if everybody likes me, that means I'm not doing well.
God bless
the Bible says that
Fantastic.
I will prepare your table
In the presence.
in the presence of your enemies.
So you need the enemies in your life.
How you be. So it's bound for you to have enemies.
Yes.
Divine.
Thank you very much,
Divine, if you don't have enemies, who is God going to
show you up in front of?
Now, taking off of what Divine and Tokwe said, if someone focuses on the issues, and I'm talking to women like I would advise myself, when somebody comes to me with hatred and I focus on the issue, and you find people say that my arguments are usually issues-based rather than personality. I'm not going to look at who Mariah is on a daily basis to judge why she's saying what she's saying. I'm just going to be logically looking at what she's saying. Are there some facts in it? That's one I will hold and forget about her personality.
Take the sense and throw away the none. Like I always say, when someone is perceiving you as the enemy and you think you've done everything just to justify your not being one. You have tried. I always say to somebody, I can't continue to hit my head on a brick wall. I can't continue to try to justify or try to repair myself in front of somebody I didn't damage myself in front of. You were not there, you don't know my story, so that's none of your business. Do you understand? But once you're given the opportunity to repair the damage and you decide to keep quiet, do you understand? If somebody gives you the opportunity to say your own, explain away what you have done, and you decide to keep quiet, you really cannot blame the person for what the person concludes.
Let me take this call from Labi. Labi from Lekki, are you there?
Well spoken.
Yes. You see, what I actually want to encourage you people is that one thing I noticed, I've been following this program for long, and I discovered that you have conscience. And for people who have conscience, you don't expect them to be happy at wrongdoing. And that is why most of the time people pick on Jumoke. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Because when she said things, she let it outwardly without compromise. Jumoke, that's why I shouldn't weigh you down. Be yourself. No matter what, be yourself. That's how God creates you. And you cannot compromise your own conscience with people that have no conscience. So, and in this world, you can't be a friend to everybody. When you are working with people that are good to go with them.
All right.
People that are envy and you notice them, put them aside and go your way.
All right, thank you. I don't want us to make this issue about us, Will, because we're trying to have a conversation so that we're helping each other. So everybody out there should also understand that this is not about Jumoke, Mariah individually. It's about how women become each other's enemies.
Okay. I want to say that envy comes from a place, it comes from the heart. Now, when somebody is envious of you, it has to do with the person and not you. Because sometimes we get it twisted. We feel, oh, maybe I'm not doing something right. I'm doing, hey, I'm trying I'm trying to please everybody, and then they still hate me and all of that. It's from them. It comes from low self-esteem on the part of the person envying you, because they've seen you and they've seen, like, what can we do to bring this person down? I don't like her guts. I don't like her confidence. I don't like the way she just behaves like she's...
I want to just put some...
When you focus on it, like you said now, it distracts you from where you're going. Probably you were a go-getter, and they look at your future, they say, ah, this person's future is bright. She's already going at it. When they bring these issues, you now get to... You carry on your head, you get distracted, you get depressed, you lose focus.
Let me take Austin from Oshodi. Austin, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, please.
All right. I just want to say to Jumoke this morning that she's wonderful. And I want her to continue to stand her ground. For the fact that a lot of people are going through phases in this country, and we don't have that to come out to say our mind. And we see somebody like her pouring out what we are feeling. Jumoke, God bless you.
So I want to say something.
All right, thank you.
You see, I want to just quote a scripture, Hebrews 12. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It is painful, but afterwards there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So when we go back to this topic of being the enemy, there are two things that happened. In most cases, it has to do with discipline. The person disciplining someone is being perceived as the enemy. The one being disciplined is feeling like I'm being victimized.
Yes.
But you must understand that discipline is essential for your growth, because you will not have harvest if you are not being disciplined. So even when you are on the receiving end of being, you are being seen as the evil one, take it as a lesson. So yes, somebody is saying that I am. And it happened to me when I was handling wardrobe, because I had issues with people who were not understanding what the standards should be, and I was having to impose a rule on them. Then I got the backlash of, why is she like that? She's evil, she's not nice, she's too harsh. I decided to change my approach, because sometimes what they're saying might not be excessively off point. You might be right in your statement, but your approach might be wrong. So even though you might feel like people are just seeing me as an enemy, maybe you need to watch yourself and the way you are communicating your truth to them.
Let me take Elijah Subara. Elijah Subara, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead, please.
Please, permit me to digress a little bit on your paper review.
Right.
You see, the issue of, it's just unfortunate. The present government, their cardinal point is corruption. But the worst corruption is happening within this system. Most of our leaders have been alleged on corruption, especially, most of them, I would mention like IGP and so many of them. But the issue now is the senators, they are now, it's like a death story after death. Now, this is the people that they deprive a particular, most of the cardinal.
Okay.
I wanted us to address, you mentioned before we went on the break that they will now come out with, I'm better than you. That's why you are envious. Rather than admittance of wrong. Someone has done wrong, right? And then you take the punitive measure that you shouldn't have done this. Or you go on 2 weeks expulsion or suspension. And they come out with, you don't
like
fit
you're saying my story. So I was, honestly, we were fined for somebody wearing short dress. And money was taken from my salary as well as the person's salary. And the person did not talk to me for 6 months, because in her mind, I should have fought for her more. I think that we must take the lessons. In every situation, whenever we're confronted with any situation, take the lessons. There's room for improvement. Nobody is perfect. There's an
angle I want us to go to. I think we've said quite a bit of this. There's an angle of the person who's perceived to be the enemy, right?
Okay.
How do you deal with being the enemy? And how do you live above that? Such that, because I remember the situation where what happened, that my husband was practically trying to train me. Say, Morel, you're too nice. You need to be strong. So we now
make a decision and go.
There was a situation that happened not a few months ago, that I think I told you that I discussed something with the person, and I tried to to try to review the issue with the person. Listen, this is why I did this, make the person understand. So now I tried to say hello to the person afterwards. Of course, the person ignored me. My husband was like, why to Baloki in the first place? So my husband now drove me where that person was. You're going to walk past that person.
Without saying hi?
Without saying hi.
I like your husband.
I said, bro, I can't do that. No.
That's not the Jesus
He was,
style.
Forget Jesus in this matter.
He was trying to teach me how to be strong with morale.
Yes.
And I walked past and I said, hello. I said, bro, I said, that's not me. That's not me. I cannot be another person.
Yes.
If that's how you handle issues. So in being me, let me finish my point. So if me being me, how are you comfortable in being me? So if you're in me, how do you continue to be in me?
Whatever it is,
beautiful person.
life is not, you cannot control what life will throw at you, but you can control
Your
how you react
reactions.
towards it.
Yeah.
So when I look at myself, one is you must know yourself.
Right.
That way nobody is going to. And I wrote something yesterday. I said, everybody is being influenced or manipulated, or as in there is leadership pushing you one way or the other.
Yes.
So when you know yourself, and that's where you will not be influenced negatively.
Right.
When you know yourself, you can be yourself in whatever situation. Now somebody would still hate on you, even when you have known and you have been
Even
yourself.
when you had smiled.
And if you are, there's room for defending yourself. And I always say defend, because nobody can defend you more than you. But when you've done it to clear your mind,
See, I would have sacked you 2 times. My organ needs to call you back before they realize that I was only root to Jumoke or Matisa Keleme.
Let's take a
God will
break.
forgive you.
When we come back, we'll take some tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have lots of tweets. Can we take tweets first, Nima, before we then come to you?
Joe Kowando says, it is better for you to love than hate. So God won't prepare a table for one you hate in your presence. Adiyalatu says, whenever you are successful, you must have enemies. People would learn how to control their envy and jealousy to avoid prejudice. Women envy each other than men. That's from Emmanuel. Andrew Inshim says, I think, Morayo, that Nigerian women hate each other. I see other women from other areas that don't. Balogun Bolaji says, of course, why on earth would I do that? The blame is on me. I don't know.
Pastor Yemi says, you can't satisfy everybody. Be yourself. Just be sure that you don't do anything against God's will. If a wealth official says, while correction is necessary for growth, your methods are even most important so as not to lose its essence.
Okay, Onyevoku Kobrai says, worst case is that you don't know that they view you as enemy until they act against you, and usually you're wrong with the perception that you're not viewed as enemy. I wanted to respond to what Morayo said. There's nothing wrong in continuing being yourself. You're a beautiful person inside and outside. Whether somebody insists that you have an ugly side, don't listen to that. And don't let that person's view or opinion of you make you change. For instance, if you had passed that person, the real Morayo would say hi, whether or not you have issues.
Yeah.
So say hi. It's the person's problem whether they want to respond or not. You will continue where you're going. If you're the madam, you're like on the in my area, for instance, I like to greet everybody whether you're old or young. I just greet you and pass. So whether you call it show off, or she's just trying to be nice, that's your headache. Well, the way I'm trained, I'll just greet you and pass.
I feel like you're abusing me.
Because Jumoke will not greet.
I will not greet you, Ni. Why? Why should I greet you?
When you're upset, I'll be.
I'm upset.
Let me take that point eventually.
It depends.
Let me take this
That's
call.
not the immediate thing. You get there.
Let me take this call from Ijebu Odi. Go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Jumoke, you have an interest in all this why.
The topic today.
I greet you. Anima, I've always been my friend. Good morning. I just got to contribute 1-2 things to this very topic for today. When we look at hatred, we look at beefing, it has caused a very big damage globally. Let me use myself as an example. Almost a decade of years ago, out of this beefing of it, and this industrious type, I'm creative, but my neighbor at the downside there is someone that comes to me virtually every day to gain 1-2 knowledge about the things we do, because we do illicit job. Do you know he went and sent some boys to release me? I was stabbed in the eyes.
Jesus.
Up to today, I tell you, I still feel the pains. Whenever I think of this very issue. Now, after the stab in the eyes, I bleeded seriously. Came out through my nose, my ears, my mouth. I almost gave it up that very day. But you know, after that very incident, I was forced to leave that very premises. It caused me to be a wanderer.
Okay, so that's obviously an extreme case of
envy.
Where it can lead to.
One of the ways you can fight envy is love.
That's the number one way.
That's my husband's solution.
No, honestly, I know I'm as hot as you are.
I agree with you. It's what the Bible says.
No, yes. I've tried it over time, and I used to be very vindictive growing up. You give to me, I give you back. In fact, I can plan you, take my time, plan you, and get and get my revenge. But as I started growing and with experiences of life, I realized that the best way to handle hate and handle envy is love. Try as much as possible to love everybody.
But may I tell you what that does to someone like me, right? I feel cheated. The one thing I hate most in the world is injustice.
Same here. So what you do
So
is...
I'm going to go away crying. See, if I don't give it back to you immediately, I will feel cheated.
Give him back.
See, let me give it back to you.
Yes,
I'll go back to God and go and ask for forgiveness. I feel better. God bless you.
Hold on. The giving back is if peradventure somebody just comes at you, my first
let me explain to Jumoke why giving back might be bad. When you do, the prophet said, do not react, do not retaliate over proportion to what the person has done. Because you really cannot determine how to be proportionate in your reaction. It's better to, to leave it.
Flexibility is very key, because as you grow old, you get experiences that will teach you to change some areas of your life. So by nature, you might be the phlegmatic person. You're always calm, you take everybody, please everybody. Over time, you might evolve into being more vocal about yourself. There's no crime in doing that. But one thing is, when you see the wrong and the places you need to improve, always work on improving yourself.
Very good.
Don't be started. Don't say this is in my nature. I am a very fair person. This is the way I am.
But
work on improving yourself.
When your nice girl is being taken for your phone, when your simplicity is being called stupidity,
reduce the niceness.
Sometimes you have to. That's why I said eventually you get to that point where Jumoke is, where you say, I cannot be greeting you. Eventually you get there, because when you greet morning, afternoon, night for 10 days, and the person is not answering, you will know that this person, we don't have the relationship of greeting again.
I won't even feel it. I think there will be no guilt in me. I'm a Christian.
Exactly.
I love God. There will be no guilt in me when I walk past you and I whistle past. Because maybe I greeted you yesterday
and you didn't answer. Yes.
And I
they are setting.
I'm a Christian.
My own is when I greet you, you don't reciprocate greeting. You too, you see me.
But let me tell you what worked for me.
Relax,
right?
will not be greeting.
I've had many people come at me with injustice, and my first reaction is human, which is I go right back at you.
Okay?
But there's sometimes when it is more than that. And I've realized what has worked the most, aside from me reacting and feeling better immediately, what solves it permanently is me going down. There's a Bible passage about enemies. I kneel down in all honesty and pray, mentioning that person's name. Never has it failed me that God will not solve the issue.
So that's beautiful.
The thing about life is one must have integrity and be true to yourself. Like I said, even you that are being hated and you feel you are unjustly being called the enemy, unjustly being called the enemy. If you look deep, there might be some things you've done that have solicited that tag of being the enemy.
And
so go out of your way to please a bit. So you might apologize, even when you feel like I shouldn't do this. Do your part. So you have a clear So you have a clear conscience.
He's talking to herself.
He's talking to
herself. Your clear conscience is what helps you to receive grace from God. There is nothing you have that wasn't given to you. So as much as possible, when you clear your mind, God will vindicate you at the end of the day. But when you hold on to that grudge or hold on to being called the enemy, you lose it.
There's something I want to quickly add. When I started working in that organization, I just finished after NYSC, and fresh out of school, you're feeling fly,
I don't
feeling
have time for this story. Straight to the point.
And so I realized that there were certain things I was doing that was wrong. I felt it was just me being me and me being blunt, and then I could look at an elder and just give it to you face. And over time, people started talking to me, and I realized that I could have said, it was rude. I could have said it in a different way. And I learned along the way.
I think in rounding off,
considerate.
In every situation you're in, pick out the learnings. Okay. Either you perceive yourself to be an enemy, maybe the person doesn't even look at you as an enemy. And the one thing is, in every situation, pick out the learnings. What have I done wrong to send that message? And what could I do better to reduce that kind of message about me? So,
and once you have dealt with that,
and be
considering free your mind, all right? Everybody, as I had a friend, I would say, everybody have your own lane. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. No issue. We're not costing each other.
Don't come to my house.
Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.